at Rocky Mountain Con with...
Hi, I'm Anna Margaret. It's great to be here.
Anna, I noticed your booth. You do cosplay, and you look excellent today. But something that I noticed about your booth is you have magic cards there. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Oh, yes, I can. I am not so sneakily trying to make every event a magic event. And so I brought some Jumpstart packs with me so that people could play a quick game of Magic if they felt so inclined. And then also, if people have come over and they recognize my Magic content, then I give them a pack and like, hey, thanks for stopping by. And so it's been really fun.
Wait, those are Jumpstart packs, so you can play with those?
You can, yes. That's why I brought them. So typically with Jumpstart, you can either play with a single pack versus a single pack, or you can take two and smush them together. And so, yeah.
Interesting. How many cards are in those?
I think there are 20 cards.
Oh, wow. Okay, so it is a full mini deck.
Full little mini
so
deck,
has some mana in it. You can play
it. It comes with basic lands and usually like one kind of intertapped land that can tap for two as you mix them together. They go for like pretty fast games, but I think that's what's perfect about them for teaching Magic. And so when I work with Magic Kids, which is a volunteer organization for teaching people Magic, we use Jumpstart packs. And so now I've adopted this whenever I guest at a convention. I'll just casually have them there in case we want to turn it into a Magic event, and it's really fun.
That's so cool. One of my favorite convention memories is PAX in Seattle.
Oh, yes.
Wizards of the Coast always gives out the small packs that are, I believe, 30-card decks. They could be 20, but small decks, and everyone's bag has a different color in it. So you and your buddy are going to have a different deck. And when you're waiting in lines, like I remember we waited in line to play the Skyrim demo forever. We just sat down and played Magic, and we looked around. Half the people were sitting around playing Magic with their little decks. It was so cool.
Well, that's basically what Jumpstart decks are. So it's literally perfect. And so, see, you can grab one before you leave.
I'm taking one of those. Absolutely. We might have to play a game.
No, we do. We might. I brought Commander, Oathbreaker, and Jumpstart, just in case.
Oh my God, you have all of those ready to go?
You never know. Just in case.
She's locked and loaded. Can I ask what your favorite new set is?
Yes, I am a huge Doctor Who fan.
Okay.
I'm Doctor Who obsessed. And so when they announced the 4 Commander decks for the Doctor Who Universes Beyond, I was freaking out. And one of the lead designers is a good friend of mine, and so poor thing heard me just freaking out about it and couldn't tell me anything until they finally released more of the information, and I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with that. My favorite in-universe set, it honestly might be the Lost Caverns of Ixalan. So that set is just coming out. The pre-release is today.
Yes,
so this weekend is the pre-release. And it's sentimental because I got to play in the pre-release. And so flying out to Canada to draft the cards and be in the pre-release was really special. And I also really appreciated that so much of the art is inspired by real cultures. And so basically it has this stunning artwork inspired by real cultures in the plane that we love through the lens of these kind of toy box of characters, dinosaurs, vampires, merfolk, humans, everything you love as a child is brought to life in this set. And so I have played it. It's really fun. Go draft the Lost Caverns of Ixalan.
Wow, I have not played it yet, but I'm going to be. There are some events going on tonight about this.
And I'm going.
Yeah. Oh, very cool. Oh, that's awesome.
After this, we'll do a quick change.
On that note, what is your favorite set? Let's call them classic set. It doesn't necessarily have to be legal and modern, vintage, or legacy, but let's say 10 years old plus. What is your favorite set?
Ooh, years are hard. I'm going to just put out one of my favorite sets, and you'll tell me if it's the right year frame. But I love original Innistrad. And so Innistrad is one of my favorite.
That's right around 10 years. So
I think I was close, but tell me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But I love Innistrad. I actually, I had played a lot of other board games and a lot of card games. I was that person that, while I was working for an electrochemical company, just tried to climb the ranks in online Dominion. I was #1 in the world for a minute. And
She's smart, people. She's smart.
I can't refresh the screen. I have it. And so I loved board games and card games, but I actually only got into Magic within probably the last 2 years in the new Innistrad block with Olivia Crimson Bride and the Crimson Vow set. And so I knew I loved this plane. I've cosplayed Olivia Crimson Bride, and I love it. And so going back and being able to draft original Innistrad, it's such a good limited environment.
So cool.
It's so fun to play, and I love the aesthetic of the plane. I love the vibes. I love vampires, and so it was perfect. And so I think that's probably my favorite.
That's interesting because that was a controversial set because of, I'm sure you know, the flip cards, right? The werewolves, they can transform.
I love them.
It's a love it or hate it kind of thing.
I have a Tovolar commander deck. Tovolar is one of the classic werewolf commanders, and so I do really enjoy flip cards. I think some people don't like change in Magic, and that's something I've encountered where if there's something experimental or different, it can be a little bit controversial. controversial because it changes something. And change isn't always good, but I think that the innovations that Magic has taken have only pushed the card game in a better direction.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. I remember when Metalcraft was controversial. Like, well, we have 3 artifacts. Like, big deal. How is that controversial? But Magic nerds are going to Magic nerd. I'm one myself, so.
Okay, wait, so what are your thoughts on Universes Beyond?
Ooh, interesting.
I have very strong thoughts, but
Yeah.
I'm curious.
No, please tell me.
No, you
Please
tell me first. Tell me first.
I like it. But I am very agreeable. I like everything. I don't think there has been a Magic release that I didn't like because they are pushing forward, but it always seems to be like they're pushing in the right direction. So I'm the wrong guy to ask because I'm on board.
I am obsessed with it. I am obsessed with Universes Beyond, and I have so many thoughts on this. But I think to summarize it, as somebody who loves Star Trek, who loves things wholeheartedly, I have attempted to play board games and card games based around fandoms that I love that are horrible. The mechanics are not well balanced and they do not play well. Why wouldn't I want things I love to use the best mechanics? I think that Magic is the most fun TCG. I think they have some of the smartest minds working behind Magic, and it has a 30-year history of being successful and having fun games and creating good environments. Why wouldn't I want fandoms I like to use a pre-existing format that I know is already good?
Yeah, and the first one
to me.
Right. The kind of transition to that was that set that came out. It was kind of like sci-fi with robots, but it wasn't based on a pre-existing universe. Do you know what I'm talking about? It was like 7 years ago, or maybe 5 years ago.
Some of the first Universes Beyond, they had like a.
I can't remember the name. I'm sorry. I'm gonna look it
up. The Walking Dead.
Okay. Yep.
It was like a zombie one. Wasn't it The Walking Dead?
Yes.
And so they
that
had.
was probably the first one.
I think that was one of the first because there was technically the Godzilla stuff before then, but it wasn't considered Universes Beyond. That moniker hadn't been coined yet, and so people were a little bit upset. And I think largely a lot of the pushback around that was that it was such a limited release, and those cards then became staples in formats. So one of the cards, a white human, became like a staple card in Legacy. And then it was just exorbitantly expensive because it was such a limited release.
I love when that happens.
Really hard. I think that they handled it the right way.
Not a Jace the Mind Sculptor fan?
Well, actually, I don't mind Jace. I love blue. I'm a blue mage. But they basically like re-released those cards as in-universe cards in the list, so they became more accessible. And I think that did help people with the backlash they were feeling.
Sure. And obviously with the success of the Lord of the Rings set, like
it's the most successful Magic set.
The most expensive Magic card of all time, as we know, is
the One Ring.
Okay,
I have a funny story with this. A good friend of mine was able to play Magic with Post Malone, and she sent me a photo. He was using the One Ring as a treasure token.
No, no, the real one? Get out of here. Does he have that? It's encased in like adamantium, right?
No, it's been graded. It's been graded. So the person who opened it in Canada, they had it graded. Okay. And so.
Wow. I think
it was in a case.
Was it a 9 out of 10? I can't remember.
I know that it did not get a perfect score.
Right. Nothing does, nor should it.
There was like some curl and I think like some fingerprints or something. I don't
Interesting. Oh, that's so cool though. I can't believe you used it as a token. That's so funny.
I thought it was the coolest thing. I was like, that makes me so happy.
That's awesome. Oh my God. So I feel like we could talk about Magic all day, but I am curious about your cosplay. So when I walked by her booth, I saw a picture on her table of Deanna Troi. I'm a big Next Generation fan. And I said, I wonder why she has a picture of Deanna Troi there. Continued on. I came back later. That was not a picture of the actress that plays Deanna Troi. That was you.
It was me, yes. I love doing really transformative makeup. I think that one of my favorite parts about cosplay is that cosplay smushes together so many different skills. There's the photography side, which is arguably my favorite part of cosplay. I do my own photography and videography, and I love that part of it. There's also crafting, there's sewing, there's acting. I've worked as a character actress for 6 years now, and I love that part, like getting to engage with people. If you're ever feeling bad about yourself, walk into a room as a princess, and suddenly everybody's happier.
You are a princess.
Including you, like everybody's happier. And so I think that what's so cool about cosplay is that you can really take it in any direction, and cosplay is valid no matter how you take it. And so I have a lot of fun with transformative makeup looks, body paints. I cosplay whatever strikes my interest. I know a few weeks ago the Doctor Who Magic the Gathering set was released.
Yeah.
I was obsessed.
That was big.
And I impulsively made 8 cosplays. I woke up.
8? Hold on. 8?
Yes. I was given some preview cards. So in Magic, sometimes they'll give creators cards ahead ahead of their release, and you can make content and preview them to the rest of the community. And all 3 of mine were from the Villains deck.
Ooh.
And I was like, I need to be Missy.
Yeah.
So I made a Missy cosplay. I had made a 13th Doctor cosplay, and then I woke up on a Saturday and said, I can do a full head of prosthetics today. And so I did Madame Vastra, and it just kept cascading from there, like Clara, Rose, and just I love it. So when I'm passionate about something, it's a fun way to express that passion.
That's awesome. You are a true professional, and I have to ask, what is your favorite Star Trek series?
Okay, interestingly, if you had asked me this even just a handful of years ago, I would have been like Voyager, hands down.
Voyager?
Relativity is my favorite episode of Star Trek.
Okay.
I love 7 of 9. I love the dynamic.
We all love
her
7 of
and-
9.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
Have you cosplayed 7 of 9?
Yes.
Okay.
I've cosplayed.
On her social media, scroll down. Let's find that
I
one.
cosplayed both her look from Picard and Voyager.
Oh, no way.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So
The Picard 7 of 9.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes, well, Picard is fantastic.
Yep.
And so I would have said Voyager, but Strange New Worlds has completely surprised me and is my favorite Star Trek series now.
Wow.
I feel like,
Okay.
well, I'd always liked the pilot, The Cage.
Sure.
And so that was the pilot episode of Star Trek with Captain Pike.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked number 1, and I really liked that dynamic. And I, arguably, while it was like a little bit more serious, had a different tone, I liked the pilot more than the original series. And so when Pike came back in later and we get to see more of his story, I was already intrigued. Season 2 of Discovery, Pike comes into the scene and I'm like, whew, Anson Mount, like, this is amazing. I'm obsessed. He's like everything I want in a captain. And how he portrayed it on screen. And it felt like such a beautiful callback to so much of old Star Trek that I loved, as well as like really fresh, awesome ideas, and like it was just phenomenal. And so season 2 of Discovery, I was like, I love this. I hope they do a spinoff.
Lucky you.
I know.
Lucky all of us.
Lucky everybody. And so with, oh my gosh. So yeah.
That's such a unique answer because I feel like, well, you are the first person I've ever asked that question that has not mentioned TNG, Deep Space Nine, or the original series. So that's awesome. You're going against the grain now. You're going to get some pissed off Trekkies here.
Well, they shouldn't be pissed off.
Right. They should love all Star Trek.
They should love all Star Trek.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
A Trekkie if you don't like all Star Trek. Well, you can. Everybody can be a valid Trekkie. There's no gatekeeping here. You can like anything or nothing or not at all.
Agreed.
And I think that's something that's so interesting to me is that some people don't like everything and they don't just move on.
Well, honestly, the Next Generation is my favorite series, but like half of it is meh.
You just need to move on.
Right. So yeah, it's funny how that works.
Yeah. But I think something that's beautiful about Star Trek is that it spans so many different like genres. Honestly, I feel like it's very, very groundbreaking, both in like social justice issues that Star Trek was able to reveal, also like the technology that appeared. We've seen it mirrored now in the real world, which is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I also think that it's one of those rare fandoms where they were really one of the reasons that fan conventions like this are even happening.
Right.
And so there's a documentary called Trekkies.
I've seen it.
That talks about this. And
if you guys haven't seen Trekkies,
it's phenomenal. It talks about this like rise of fandom and rise of cosplay. And I think that we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that passion of fans, but then also the stars as well engaging in that. And it's always like I always feel a little bit surreal because I've done the most Star Trek cosplay. I've had some opportunities that make you feel like, oh my gosh, this can't be happening to me. But getting to go to like the Star Trek Picard season 3 premiere and getting to walk the red carpet and see the stars or be a guest at Star Trek Las Vegas and like go and be a part of those charity events and feel so engaged with the fandom. It's beautiful. And I think it's one of the most supportive fandoms I've ever engaged with or been a part of. And so I think that while there are some bad eggs, generally I think if there's Star Trek people in the comments, they're going to be the nice ones. So I'm not worried.
Agreed, 100%. So I very much enjoyed talking to you. I hope I can talk with you tomorrow again.
Sure.
And where can we find you online?
Hi. So yes, my name's Anna Margaret. You can find me everywhere at It's Anna Margaret. I'm mostly on Instagram and YouTube, but you can find me all over.
Awesome. And we will put Anna's tags down below for Instagram. Do you do TikTok also?
I do, yes. Okay. I'm everywhere.
Awesome. She's everywhere. We're going to put her TikTok, Twitter, all that good stuff down below. Please check her out. She is truly a master of this universe. If you want to know about magic, Star Trek, she is the one. I am impressed by her knowledge and also a computer science nerd. So
the fact that we're both computer scientists just makes me so happy. What are the odds?
In physics.
In physics. I know. Wild.
Hilarious. Well, thank you so much for talking with me, Anna.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Have a fun con.
Thanks. You as well.
Thank you.